Hello. My practice revolves around socio-political issues of the Middle East, particularly Israel and Palestine. In recent years, I've developed an interest in the impact of myth and fiction over narrative histories and national identity. In the early days of my practice, many Palestinian artists embraced a documentary-based approach in their work in order to document and preserve what seemed about to be lost. The idea was that unmasking the realities on the ground would eventually influence the political dialogue. Yet somehow all it generated was an illusion of progress. Feeding the dialogue became a way of maintaining the status quo. Perhaps this was because truth and rational arguments were never really key to solving the equation. Israel and Palestine was never really about the rational argument. It was always about persuasive narratives. I eventually found the conceptual distance I was seeking in science fiction. The shift of context made the discipline a philosophical playground in which new meaning can arise. In my short film, Nationstates, I deal with the issue of national identity. In the film, Palestine is reduced to a single skyscraper, housing the entire Palestinian population from within Palestine and also the diaspora. National symbols are exhibited as artifacts throughout the building, as tokens of belonging. Bowls and plates carry the black and white traditional Palestinian pattern, which is called kifiyeh, that's associated with resistance and solidarity. Reduced to exhibited artifacts, these symbols of heritage and belonging appear to have lost their meaning. But the fictions of these early works remained blatantly fictitious, and if the idea was to challenge the dominant narrative posing as truth, it seemed quite imperative to find actual counter-narratives. My next project, in the future, They Ate from the Finest Porcelain, was a historical intervention. In Israel and Palestine, archaeology does not confirm fact, it confirms narratives. The plan was to bury artifacts in the ground and launch a new narrative for future archaeologists to confirm. The idea has become a sci-fi film, but the project didn't seem complete without an actual real-life performance. So I eventually buried archaeological evidence throughout Israel and Palestine. I used the bowls and plates that you see in my previous film, Nationstates. And the idea was to test this conversion from fiction to fact. So using artifacts from a purely fictional work was essential. So if Nationstates reduced national symbols to exhibited artifacts in a museum, in the future They Ate from the Finest Porcelain reactivated these symbols in an attempt to secure a future. إحنا عم نزرع وقائع في الأرض. في المستقبل لما علماء الآثار يكتشفوها رح تكون هي برهان على إنه هذا الشعب اللي إحنا عم نطرحه اليوم كان موجود.
فإذا في المستقبل الناس رح تكتشف إنه حضارتك هاي أهلها كانوا يأكلوا من أرقى أنواع الخزف؟
مزبوط. وقتها بس القيامة ما بتصير في لحظة زمن. But how do you shape a state when your national identity has been devastated violently for decades? My most recent film, In Vitro, is set in an underground bunker decades after an eco-apocalypse. Two women discuss the issue. Their aim is to revive their lost civilization. Ambitions for a nation-state seem oddly anachronistic in the face of a global climate catastrophe. Yet across the globe, the language of nationalism appears stronger than ever. In Vitro focuses on this conceptual clash. Does the concept of nations still apply when everything is lost? And how do we deal with the cultural DNA that we so insist on preserving? Are the reductive symbols and iconography of the past enough to build on?
أنا تربيت على النوستالجيا. طعموني الماضي بالمعلقة. بدلولي ذكرياتي بذكريات ناس تانيين. هذا المحل منفاكي انتي مش منفاي انا.
عن قريب اللي احنا حققناه هون رح يخلق أسطورة بحد ذاتها.
انا ما بتهمني الشعوب اللي بتحكي عنها. هاي الروايح، هذا النسيج، هذا التاريخ اللي قلصتوه لأكم من رمز وأكم من وثن، هذا القداس اللي بأرخ فقداننا، هذا الطاعون، هاي الكوارث، هذا الرحيل.
كل رحيل قبل هيك.
Thank you for listening.